Check out this breakfast sandwich. Bacon, egg, cheese, salsa. Oh, so good. Okay, 8 o'clock. Starting to walk out of Unionville. The little guy here was telling me that we were in New York up there by the store. And we're about to cross state line here and go back to Jersey. Back and forth, back and forth. The trail for me in New Jersey has been a trail of snakes and ticks. I've had 5 snakes cross the path since I've been in New Jersey. I think that's more than all the rest of the trail. And I had, I think, a half dozen ticks at least get on me yesterday going through the fields, which again is more than the rest of the trail. Granted, it's, you know, getting more into spring, but like, oh man, you gotta really watch out. It's 11:15. So we've been on the trail about 3 hours. We've gone about 6 miles. This morning, one of the section hikers that camped in that same park, she said, I don't need all this food because we've been eating out too much. And so she gave me this bag of mixed nuts. It's got pecans, it's got a whole bunch of different ones, pepita seeds and chocolate, all my favorite stuff. Just wanted to say thank you. And also for the breakfast freeze-dried. Check out that big turtle.
Right, there's another one big like that sitting in the grass further up.
Oh yeah?
And he had the spikes coming off his tail. It looked really prehistoric.
Nice.
Come back again to watch. So, okay.
Okay, we spent a long time here hanging out at Heavenly Hill Farm. Had some ice cream, charged up some electronics, did some stretching. I did a bunch of calls to try to arrange lodging and shuttling in a few days when I'm near West Point. You can see Jared. And then we had a hot dog, the hot dog stand across the way. And now it looks like we've got 5 miles up to the shelter, which will make it a 17.5-mile day, which is what I was thinking I was going to be doing after the reset. And then tomorrow and the next day, probably going to be longer days, like 20 miles or so. Try to get close to the Hudson Bridge to walk in about 5 miles or so that last day. And it looks like I was able to order a pair of Ultras wide that's supposed to get to the motel the day before I arrive, or possibly the day that I do arrive. So I should have new shoes, ones that'll be wide enough for my feet. One of the things that I'm finding is that if you step on top of the rocks, oftentimes you get through them faster and with less pinching of the toes and stuff. So this right here, I'm just walking from one to the next. And anyway, thought I would share because it might save you some pain. The other thing is you don't want to have a rhythmic stride like you do if you're on flat ground, because you've got to adjust because they're not always going to be right where you want them. Like there I had to adjust a little bit, and then have your hips ready to turn and twist as needed. So anyway, now this is getting to be fun. So I'm going to be like a mountain goat when we get over to the northeast mountains. Just wait and watch that. I would really like to camp here. This water is great. I can get all the way in, and the campsite's just like 15 feet, 20 feet that way. It's so close. It would be so nice. But we're in New Jersey. Can't do that. Got to stay at the shelters. So we have 2.8 miles. I just filled up all my waters because there's no water at the shelter. And I'll check in with you there. Check it out, it's the beaver. And here's his dam. Morning, little beav. Oh, that was so cool. Morning, friends. We left camp at 6:30 this morning. I'm very excited. I wanted to leave early because we've got a lot of miles to do today. I'm shooting for at least 20. And we've got some rock climbing coming up, so that should be fun. Looks like we've got water about every 5 miles of good water, so won't have to carry quite as much as yesterday. Don't have as much food in the pack, so it's feeling lighter. So the prospects of going longer go up. And then there's another hot dog stand about halfway through the day, so that'll help. And tomorrow we'll try to do about the same, 20-ish, maybe a little more. And then just a few miles out the next day, because I'm going to get to see my favorite soldier at West Point. Woo! The Appalachian Trail is all about growing through suffering. You'll notice the rocks continue this way. Almost every time the spur trails and the other trails nearby are smooth and nice. But what do you learn and grow if there's no suffering, right? Came across a nice big rock slab, so I stopped to stretch, ate a snack, got some water. Didn't want to brush my teeth because I didn't want to dig it out, so I found this is a white pine. See how it's got the 5 needles coming out of the little connector? Well, these, you can munch on them because they're still soft and nice little flavor. Status report, about 8:45. We've been moving about 2 hours, gone about 4 miles. And look what we've come across. We are now leaving New Jersey and beginning New York. Woohoo!